returned once again today actually deliver another stream of Golden Kamuy, the manga series. We're good to go, we're good to go, we're good to go. So yes, actually have returned to actually cover chapter 190 of Golden Kamuy. As we know, chapter 189 left on quite the cliffhanger, I must say, because we went from it being 3 characters in MIA to now about 5, I would say at this point. There's about 5, 6 maybe MIA currently that could in theory all lead to the whole thing with the death prospect. I was like, no. Please don't. Please don't. I mean, if Kira survives this whole entire arc, I'd be freaking surprised, because the boy has been kind of stabbed too many times. Okay, so out of the MIA characters we've got currently, we have Tsukishima now, who's freaking MIA. We've got Ogata, who's lost an eye, who may not be poisoned. We've got Koito, who's just been stabbed. We've got... My brain just stopped for a second now, Jesus Christ. We also got Kira, who's been stabbed twice. Who else have we got at this point? We also got Ikaramat, who's very much MIA currently. And I think that's it. I like to imagine. Is that it? Is it? Yeah, I think that's all of them current. That's about 6. So yeah, I don't know who's gonna die first, but if Kira survives, I'd be freaking pissed. Kira's the one at least wants to survive at this point. He's got the best chest hair in the anime, but boy, is he an asshole at this point in the manga. So, oh boy, we'll have to wait and see. So it's actually put into gone live. So, gone live for chapter 190 of Golden Kamuy. I swear to God, every single chapter that comes out, my anxiety goes to the roof. Every single time I see, oh, a new chapter's actually out, I'm like, oh no. The anxiety that goes through my blood just goes, please, just don't. Don't do it. Don't do it. Save yourself. Oh, it's actually working, so I'm actually good to go straight away. Oh, man. So, yeah, it's actually beginning chapter 190 for tomorrow's sake. Oh, come on. It went straight through his hand as well. He stopped with his own hand. Stop giving the prospect you actually might survive this, boy. Stop giving the prospect you actually might survive this. Oh! I must say, in all fairness, props to both of them. They survived quite a lot so far. I hate Koito, not Koito, I love Koito. What am I saying? I hate Kira. I don't give him a passion, but God, he survived quite a bit so far. He's been stabbed up twice, now 3 times, I guess. If you count the hand wound, that's 3 times. Oh! 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 No fucking way. No fucking way. Don't tell me the boys came in. The boys just came back. No. 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 Don't tell me the boys just came back. The double team of the century. The double team of the century. Also, yes, that's actually quite a lot of blood. Second attempt Koito. Don't interfere. I'll finish it off myself. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. I was like, if you kill off Tsukishima at this point, what's the goddamn point? Like, you're gonna kill off one of the best characters of the whole entire manga, whose character arc has not actually ended just yet. Why would you go and do that? I swear to God, if Kira survives this, I actually swear to God. Oh, come on! The absolute nerve of him! The absolute nerve! Why? You will not kill off 2 best boys plus the best butt in the whole entire manga. You will not do it. On my soul, you will not do that, my boy. Absolutely not. No. Oh, don't tell me Koito came with that clutch. Don't tell me he did that. The boy's buonissimo. Also quite hot as well, actually. Oh, don't tell me. Oh, God, the anxiety in my soul right now. Tanigaki, fire! Wait! I see Upper? So we have to ask him. Don't shoot! Oh, at least Ogata's kind of okay. Ogata's kind of okay. He's in the realm of the living, as we would call it, at this point in the world. He's in the realm of the living, but not in the kind of living that you would want him right now. He's not on the verge. Out of the way. He's a wounded beast. Stand back! If you kill him, I'll never be able to know. Run, Asidopa. Talk about Wilk with Sophia. I'm sure that the key is inside of you. I'm sure that the key is inside you. Holy shit, he's bleeding. He's bleeding! He's bleeding! Kira, do not cry for the lad! He is a bad boy! He's a bad boy! He's not a good boy! He's a bad boy! Well, it just came back to me. It really was something that Alka told me after all. Huh? He's like, wait, I'm alive! It's like, this old wound down here won't kill me just yet. Thank you for getting me to remember. What is she talking about? It did, huh? I'm glad. This journey wasn't meaningless. Oh, don't tell me he's gonna die now, is he? Well, good. He's gonna die, but still. Crucial moments, lads. Crucial moments. True, but he is a jerk. He's a massive arsehole. Like, he's a massive arsehole. A hot arsehole, but an arsehole nonetheless. Bringing Asidopa all this way with us wasn't meaningless. I'm glad it actually brought back... I'm glad the main memories of the whole entire thing also then... Fuck me, side. I saw him in the corner just then. Oh! The glass is also passed out. Oh! Thank you for the food. Thank you for the food, Noda. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Oh. I mean, he might have lost one eye at this point, but frickin' hell. At least we got to see him naked one more time. Well, I guess we did do plenty of meaningless things. I'll leave the rest to you, Asidopa, for our sake, with Sophia. Sophia. You killed Ankanispa. Is it true that you killed Arka? Oh shit, he's actually dead. The boy's gone. The boy's out of the land of the living. Killed Ankanispa. Killed Ankanispa. This journey wasn't meaningless. 190 end. So, Kanto Ora Yaku. These only words are the same as ones that were featured back in chapter 172 and also written on the slipcover of each volume of Golden Kamuy. In English, they translate to nothing is sent down from the heavens without having a purpose. And there we go. And there we go. I mean, his character's very interesting in the grander scheme of things. Yeah. At the end, I was like, wait a second, do I want him to die? I was like, kind of not, but at the same time, he is a massive arsehole. That's a problem. You're kind of like, I don't want him to die. It's like the same thing with Ogata as well, though I love him to bits. He's kind of sort of an arsehole, but I just don't want him to die. The same thing with every single bad boy character in this manga. You just don't want him to die, and you're kind of sitting there like, oh, Yeah, they kind of he had a purpose to what he was doing, but the problem was the way he was doing it wasn't the best way. Possibly, maybe. I mean, I guess we won't fully find out what would have been the whole outcome of his actual kind of character arc, because now he's basically dead, unless he actually survives somehow by the miracle of life, as they say. Though I doubt we will actually ever see him again, but you never know. Stuff has happened beforehand I've been surprised about, so you never know. But I mean, he was gonna die. His death flag was raised so goddamn high at this point. I was like, he has to die. It hurts because he actually kind of did in theory. He's not a character that's kind of inherently evil. It's like he was fighting for a purpose, but as we know, sometimes the purpose you fight for gets clouded in your own judgment, and in doing so, you kind of do the wrong thing, and it kind of then makes us go, well, dude, what you were doing wasn't just. But I guess we won't fully find out what's actually going on here, because he knows secrets that possibly no one else knows. Because, as we also kind of realize with this manga as well, is the fact that you can't trust most of the characters, because the characters' interpretation of the storylines tend to actually kind of differ. And for that reason, you're kind of stuck there wondering, okay, so what's really going on here? Who's telling the truth here with some of the characters? Because a lot of the storylines have been kind of skewed as time went on. So you're kind of like, okay, so if, say, something Sophia knows might in theory actually kind of happen the way that she says it, because that doesn't tend to happen. Because I believe that actually happened beforehand with one of the plot lines in this manga, like with Sophia, Wilk, and Kiro. So it's one of those things you just don't know what would happen at that point. But I mean, yeah, it was his character. His character had a purpose. That's the main thing. He fought for a reason. I mean, the reason itself wasn't like... The reason itself could have been just, but as we said beforehand, it's one of those things you just can't really trust what he was doing. But I wonder what's going to happen now. What would actually... That's the problem. See, that's the thing. He wants to secure independence, but I guess it's the way he went about it that was the problem. Because deep down, as we said, as we established, deep down he's a completely justified character. But as we've kind of come to realize with these things, like as we kind of realize with these things, that it doesn't always go the way you planned, and sometimes what you do tends to kind of make you go, okay, was that justified? Was it justified? Was what he was doing justified? We don't know, because again, at least his whole entire character wasn't meaningless, because then we actually might find the key to what's really going on here with Asidipa as well. But at the same time, you just kind of wonder what would have been, what could have been, what would have happened if he survived. Who will live on the legacy now? Because that's the problem. Because I guess in a way, I kind of feared if Kyodanka survived and so did Ogata, and both of them kind of stayed together. Because, say, hypothetically speaking, if say Asidipa actually landed a shot on Ogata, like without Sugimoto actually kind of being there, and actually then her lust for like kind of blood sort of came out, and then you kind of wonder what would have happened then, because she would have turned into the person that I guess no one wants her to turn into, because then she actually leads the uprising for her own people. She then will kind of she would then do the wrong thing, and it kind of then clouds the whole entire judgment there as well. So in theory, it kind of makes me wonder. Yeah, I don't know, because Sophia, again, it's one of those things that, what would happen to her as well? What's going to happen to her? Like, what would this whole entire thing lead towards with her character as well? Will she actually go off the rails? I don't know. Don't think so. She seems very kind of like she knows what she's doing, and she won't kind of lead an uprising that actually might in theory end up with a lot more people dead than actually surviving in the end. But who knows? But I wonder what would happen if Kira survived it. I wonder what would have happened, but who knows now? We'll never know. It's a kind of an interesting what if scenario. Like, what if he actually did in theory lead the uprising in the end, actually kind of got his independence for his people? Who knows? It might not have been kind of the best way of doing things, because let's face it, he's got kind of a weird way to do things, but it might have still been an interesting thing to look at. What could have happened there? But yeah, Sophia's kind of the more interesting character now. What's going to happen with her? Whether or not she actually will carry on the mantra or not. I don't know whether or not she will. I don't think she will kind of lead the same kind of character path as Kiro, because I don't think she will kind of think to herself, is it worth it? I don't know. It's kind of the one thing I'm actually kind of interested in finding out. Whether or not she actually will in theory lead it. Kind of don't know, because it's one of those things that if all three of them were there, it's kind of like all three of them back together, and actually then the whole entire thing will actually kind of lead to a kind of better outcome. But with her only, it's one of those things that whether or not actually will in theory happen, it could happen. It's one of those things you just don't know. It's been surprising beforehand. But yeah, that's the problem. But I don't know if not she will kind of carry on the legacy that they left. That's the thing. Like in essence, kind of lead an uprising, but she's not inherently a part of the only people, but lead an uprising in the sense that carry on what they started. I don't know. I don't think she will. I think the whole entire dream is dead. I think the dream is dead, unless by some hypothetical thing it doesn't really happen outside of the character's actual kind of actions. Like in essence, like say it was their dream, but someone else actually has the exact same dream and they lead an uprising instead. Who knows? That's also never kind of it's also kind of a prospect. It's the idea of whether or not it's not just them doing it, and whether or not someone else will do it as well. Who knows? I don't know. You can't really tell with this manga so far, because this manga's actually kind of thrown too many curveballs at you. Just kind of like, oh god, what do I do now? It's interesting though. I kind of feel sorry for Kiro. I don't think so, because she doesn't have the kind of the same. I don't think she's kind of have the exact same like motivation that Kiro and Wilk actually had. That's the thing. That's my thought process on why Acidipa wouldn't do it, because Wilk and Kiro kind of experienced what they're trying to fight for. Acidipa kind of, I don't think, would actually kind of have the exact same kind of thought process. That's why that's why I'm saying, if say Kiro survived it or Gata got killed, and then for some hypothetical reason that she actually kind of grew to be a killer, then maybe. But thank God, Sugimoto actually intervened and actually said no, this isn't happening, because it could have happened. Say if Kiro died, or Gata died, and then she actually got the kind of the thought for kind of killing, then I'll say yes, possibly maybe she might have actually kind of led on the exact same thing that Kira was doing. But no, not right now. I don't think, there's nothing in her that kind of makes me go, well, she might do it, because she has no reason to. Because she doesn't really know much about her father either. Well, vertically speaking, the true father we know now. So I don't think she could in theory, and she hasn't experienced anything that actually would make her go that way as well. That's the crux of her character arc as well, is the fact that I guess they want her to carry it on, because Wilk did say it before he died, that he wants her to carry on the legacy that he left. But there's no way in hell she could, because there's nothing within her that kind of doesn't really tell us that she could do it. I don't know, I could be wrong. I could be completely incorrect about this whole entire philosophy, but it's just her character at this very current state and how it's actually kind of all come together. I don't think it could in theory happen. Had it gone differently, maybe, but don't know. I could be wrong. Who knows? Because even then, when Kiro died, none of the emotions changed within her to say that she wanted to enact revenge or anything like that. It's kind of like she understands. I guess she understands what they were fighting for, but I guess she doesn't want to do the exact same thing. I do think she mentioned it at some point, that she wouldn't go down the exact same route that he would. As I'm actually having I'm having different thoughts, but again, who knows? Who knows with this manga? This manga always throws curveballs at you all the time, so who knows? You could think one thing 1 minute, and then something else happens. You're like, oh. But at least we actually kind of got not the curveball that Tsukishima would die instead, and actually it was Kyoranke instead, because I was worrying for a second that it's all could in theory go wrong, and actually Kiro survives it. But alas, at least it wasn't the case. Because I was scared. I was scared for a second. I was like, God, don't tell me Tsukishima actually might in theory die. Kiro survives it, and then we all just kind of go, oh God. But at least it kind of ended the way I expected. Which isn't kind of a bad thing, because let's face it, he had to die. That was the thing with Kiro's character. He actually had to die. His character arc kind of got to that point, you're like, yeah, he's gonna go. Or he has to go. I don't know, because there wasn't anything inside me that kind of told me that he couldn't really carry on. unless by some miracle he actually just changes the ways that he actually acts, and actually that's how he just managed to survive it. But I don't think he could, because there's too many character interactions cut with him as well. Like, he couldn't even fully go back to the group because, let's face it, there's just no way. Again, that's the kind of thing I'm wondering. What's going to happen with Sophia? Like, I'm kind of wondering what's going to happen with Sophia. I don't think she could carry on what they're doing, but then she could in theory change in the prospect of her actually kind of becoming a little bit more evil, as you kind of say. But I don't think so again, because there's just nothing again with her character tells me she could turn evil, unless she actually kind of is so broken by it. It just changes her perception on the world itself. Who knows? But again, it's just one of those things that Sophia kind of tells us she's a character that actually knows what she's doing in essence. But who knows? Because there's no real central antagonist in this manga. I mean, everyone says it's the big boy himself, but I don't think it is, to be honest. I honestly don't. It's just there's no antagonist in this show just yet. Everyone's got a reason for fighting, really. If anything, Ogata and Kiro are kind of the main antagonists for a long while. But no one else. But I don't know. It couldn't very all change. We'll have to wait until next week or the week after, I guess, and see what actually doesn't very happen, because I am freaking worried. I am worried for this manga at this point. I'm just kind of like, the anxiety levels I'm going through are kind of through the roof. It's like, I wonder what could in theory happen here. But again, you can theorize, but the theories always kind of turn out like, oh, well, that went differently. Or sometimes it can in theory go the way you expect. It's one of those things that you just can't predict this show at all. So yeah, I mean, that is me done for today. So, as always, if you have enjoyed this whole entire stream as a whole, then do indeed leave a sub on Twitch, because indeed, there's something quite a bit. Actually, you actually watch these streams live. And also, then, if you actually have enjoyed it here on YouTube and you do want to leave a like, then do leave a like, because indeed, there's something quite a bit. If you haven't enjoyed it here on YouTube and you do want to stay a bit longer, then do indeed leave a sub, because indeed, it does help me quite a bit. Poor Kiro. We lost best chest hair in the whole entire manga as well, and also best kind of beard as well. True, we actually did. It's one of those things. You lose a jerk, but you also lose kind of a hot dude. That's the problem with manga. Like, god damn it, I lost a hot dude. And also, as well, actually have enjoyed this whole entire stream. If you want to stay a bit longer after the whole entire point, then do leave a sub on YouTube, because indeed there's something quite a bit. And as well, after the whole entire point, actually have enjoyed you here. If you have enjoyed you here and actually want to stay a bit longer after the whole entire point, then do indeed have a follow on Twitter, because indeed there's something quite a bit. On there, you know, streams go live, and streams I do as well. And also, after the whole entire point, you actually don't have a Twitter account, but do have a Discord. I do have one of those as well. Actually, doesn't free to streams go live, and the other streams I do as well. But until next, I've checked on 191 of Golden Kamuy. I'll see you guys later. Bye for now.